But there was a question that I wanted to address before we move forward about the size of Adam alayhi salam. As Muslims, we believe that he was 60 arm lengths into the sky. And we also believe the Qawm al-Ad, which is a very early nation amongst the history of humanity, were giants. They were very big, where they could rip trees out and all that kind of stuff, right? And we haven't yet found any bones that would substantiate such a claim, right? So many people from a scientific background come and try to criticize us on this and say, you guys believe humans were so big, and we're not even close to that size. So what happened? So the fact that we haven't yet found any bones to substantiate, and all those pictures online are fake. We don't deal with fake stuff. We're people of haqq, right? Doesn't mean that it didn't happen, right? Many of the things we believe about dinosaurs for centuries, we didn't believe because we hadn't found their bones. And when we found bones, we started to think through, maybe it was like this. And originally dinosaurs had these scaly, lizard-looking skin, and their scientists would say this is what they look like. Now they're like, nah, they all had feathers. The new theory right now is even land T-Rexes and stuff had feathery bodies, not scaly. Meaning that as we find things, we kind of change our ideas as a scientific community. So that's not really an evidence this way or that way, right? But an interesting thing that scientists tell us from bones that we have found is all of the creatures were larger before, right? Megalodon, the saber-toothed tigers were much bigger than tigers today. Wolves were huge. If you look at the woolly mammoth, if you look at the earlier creatures, even bugs, according to what we've found, were huge compared to what we have today, right? Why? Why was it that almost every type of animal was much larger than they are today? Well, scientists tell us, according to them, that there was a shortage of oxygen in comparison to today. So the larger bodies could facilitate taking more oxygen through for survival. Okay, if that's their theory, then why would humans not be? Right? So if we take that, and we have substantiated from evidence that every creature was larger before, then why would we use a different theory for humans? In fact, even if you look at fish and things, the bones that we find were much larger than we find today. So then it would substantiate, according to the same theory, that humans were larger at an earlier time. Of course, it's very early in humanity's history. Qawm al-Ad and Adam alayhi salam could have been billions of years ago, millions of, we don't know. Islam, we don't have this 10,000-year-old earth like the Christians have this, earth, it's called the young earth theory. So we don't know. I mean, between Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and now was 1400 plus years. Between him and Isa alayhi salam was 600 years. So that's about 2,000 something. Between him and Musa alayhi salam, who knows, right? And between Musa alayhi salam and Yusuf alayhi salam, who knows? And then before Yusuf alayhi salam is Yaqub alayhi salam and Ishaq alayhi salam and Ibrahim alayhi salam, and then before him going all the way back to Idris and Sheet and Nuh, all the way to Adam, it could have been millions of billions of years. We don't know. So we don't have to bring you bones to prove it, right? But the same theory that scientists use to explain why animals are bigger would substantiate that humans would have to have been bigger because we do breathe oxygen as well. Yes?
Isn't there some type of evidence that like houses or something that was carved in the side of a mountain that couldn't have been from anything but...
Right. I mean, if you look at Petra and if you look at some of the houses that were carved into mountains, we could say that this is Qawm Thamud, and there are many other indications that there were larger humans. But again, is that really a scientific evidence? Not really. We have to be honest. We're not Muslims. We don't stretch things. We go by evidence. But this is a scientific theory that they put forward. So if you use that theory, then it would have to mean the same thing.
Well, from process of elimination, if you were to look and say people that far back couldn't have had the machinery or
anything to build a house in a mountain. So then therefore wouldn't it only make sense that there would have been giants, so there would have been larger humans?
Again, the fact that you find large dwellings would indicate that larger humans lived there. But again, can you really take that to a provable scientific fact? No. But again, it is an extra evidence. But the bones that we have found of many of the creatures that we do see today were all larger. Elephants, so on, tigers, right? And this is something we can prove. And if that's true, if that was needed for them to survive because of oxygen, then obviously humans would be the same.